Y'all, what's good? It's your man Lucas Frink, kicking it one of the coolest, the smoothest.
Calvin Maurice Media.
And y'all, look, this right here is our podcast. Hey, yo, now we
Talkin.
listen, man. We're gonna be talking to you about a few different things: faith, business, personal development, and one of the most important, I know a lot of folks like, is that trendy topic. You know, to keep your mind moving and grooving.
For sure. So if you believe in us like we believe in you, go ahead and like that video. Comment on it when you hear a gem. Subscribe to us and definitely share it with a friend.
So, hey, yo, what we talking about today, man?
Man, I want to know about some business, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like,
You know what?
you got a tip for us?
I got the topic for you too, the tip and the topic, bro. Peep this, man. So, when you hear the word freedom,
Okay.
what comes to mind?
Choice. Choice.
Choice. When you hear the word rat race, what comes to mind?
Doing the same thing everyone else is doing.
Mm.
Always chasing.
Always chasing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you don't really have an option because you're trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of following along with the crowd. Y'all, today we're going to talk about freedom versus the rat race.
Okay.
But my personal thing to it is talking about entrepreneurship and how entrepreneurship can, of course, grant you freedom.
Okay.
For you to have those options or those choices, and for you not feeling like you're trying to keep up with the Joneses. Because I feel like in entrepreneurship, you're an innovator, right? If you're successful in entrepreneurship, you're an innovator, right? So, man, what's your personal experience with entrepreneurship when it comes down to freedom?
It definitely allows me to formulate a schedule around things that I care about, but it also is time consuming for sure. But the thing about it is, if you pick something you love, you'll never have to work, you know. So I genuinely enjoy the businesses I'm involved in. So putting in that 8 hours or that 10 hours into that doesn't feel like, you know what I'm saying, like jail. It doesn't feel like a struggle.
For sure.
But then also, I don't have to clock in at a specific time. So if my mom wants to go eat at 12 o'clock, I could do it. If my dad wants to play tennis at 5, I could do it. As long as there's no other, like, you know, obligation in life.
For sure. For sure. So that's like your personal experience with entrepreneurship and freedom, right? You can kind of do what you want, when you want, essentially how you want, right? You kind of own your own schedule. Do you feel like sales goes a lot into entrepreneurship?
Yeah, because entrepreneurship, like, it's all about sales. Like, no matter what you're doing, like, you got to sell whatever product or service that you got. So, yeah.
And the reason I'm bringing this topic up, man, is because I personally feel like a lot more people should be in entrepreneurship. And the reason I say that, bro, is because so many times we want to have those options, or we want to have those choices, or we want to be able to do what we want, when we want, and all of this stuff like that, right? So my personal recommendation is entrepreneurship, right? At the same point in time, I know everybody can't do it.
Because it takes a lot.
Not only does it take a lot, it takes discipline. Because just because you can wake up when you want, do what you want, all of that stuff like that, people get so caught up on, oh man, it's sweet out here. I can wake up when I want to. I can go to sleep when I want to. Man, I can do what I want when I want. But how about when it comes down to working? Because a wise mentor of mine told me before I went to college, bro, he was like, you need to look at doing sales. Because in sales, you will never have a cap on your salary. At the same point in time, you'll never have a base on that thing either. So just like, as long as you got that dog in you, you're going to work, you're going to be disciplined, you're going to be consistent with whatever it is that you're doing as far as your craft, as far as entrepreneurship, you'll be successful at it. So the sky's not even the limit. You can go above and beyond that. However, if you get so caught up in, you know, keeping up with the Joneses and trying to do what everybody else doing, or not taking care of your business, you waking up super late, 10, 11 o'clock at night, and not even because you stayed up till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning doing work on your business. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like you ain't got no base. So it's like, instead of you adding money to the account, you'll be taking away money from the account, or even putting yourself in deficit.
And it's choice, man. You know, back to what I said, because you got to choose the right things to do with your time. Like, like no one technically you're your own boss. So there's not going to be anyone to check you per se. You know, you might have employees that ask you questions and all that stuff that, you know, require you to check in. But for the most part, like, it's up to you. And you literally have to choose to be your best. You have to choose to serve. You have to choose to sell. You have to choose to market. You have to choose to, you know, whatever business it is, like, put your hands into it, put your mind into it, put your heart into it. Because if you get caught up in, like, the fact of, like, I don't got to clock in.
Hello.
Then, like, and you're like, I'll just game, I'll just sleep, because that's not what it's all about. Like, because like freedom and choice and all that, like, it's cool in a sense of like, sure you can travel the world, sure you can sleep in and all that, but it's also a blessing to choose to add value to other people's life. Because an entrepreneur is someone that adds value on a mass scale. That's why like sales is important, because you have to be able to show it to a lot of people. Marketing and sales, like, go hand in hand.
They go hand in hand.
For sure. So it's beautiful to have all that time, but you definitely got to have the discipline to manage it right.
For sure. You said something earlier that was really big, bro. You was like, everybody wants to be their own boss. So you own your own business, correct?
Correct.
A couple of them, right? So what does being your own boss mean to you? Like, well, you know what? You kind of just said it, but say it like this, or I'm going to ask it like this. If you were just starting out today, what's the mentality you need to have as far as being your own boss? What do you think it should be?
Especially from the beginning, it's really just, it's learning, and it's applying, and it's trial and error. Like, because in the beginning, you know, I'm assuming like you're beginning from scratch, like not knowing anything, you know, from the past. Like, imagine I'm a clean slate. It means I have to learn. So like in the very beginning of, you know, my first business, which it was photography.
For sure.
I had to sit on the couch. Sit on the couch and watch TV. What TV was that? What was on the TV, rather? It was education. It was how to shoot. What does the camera do? How to color. How to compose. And all this stuff. Watching that. And then take that and go take pictures. You know, figure it out. To the point where, like, I'm not going to say I stopped watching, you know what I'm saying, the content, but it was here. So now it's like, bet, I got the skill. What's next? Like, I got to make sure people know it. So, boom, let me learn the skill of marketing. Let me learn the skill of sales. All right, cool, I got that. Now, let me learn the skill of communication, because now I got to get somebody else on my team, because, you know, I want to shoot 2 weddings. How can I teach? I got to learn the skill of teaching. I got to learn the skill of communication. I got to learn the skill of file management. You know what I'm saying? It's constant learning.
I want you to stop right there.
For sure.
If y'all didn't pick up on what Calvin just said, I'm going to break it like this. I'm going to break it down like this. So many people get caught up of, I want to be the boss. Yeah, like, that sound cool and that sound cute, and that's what you think it sound like, right? But the reality of being your own boss, yeah, like, you got to write up the plan for your life. You got to write up everything. You got to understand where you're trying to go at. For the lack of vision, people perish. So if you don't have a vision for where you're trying to take your business at, where you want to take the people who are going to be involved in your business at, you will perish. You won't do well in business, okay? So being your own boss comes with writing up the vision, making it plain, and then going to go work it. Key word, going to go work it. Not only are you your own boss, but you're also your own employee. So you now have to work the vision that you've already written out for yourself. Now, in the Bible, it talks about being a good steward of the things that God blesses you with, right? So when you become a good steward of your business, and you go out and work the vision that God gave you for that business, and you know how to do it, then, like you said earlier, you're able to teach and show other people how to do what? Do what you've been doing for so long. You can step over to actually being a boss who now not only manages, but you also still do work, right?
I do.
And see, that's the thing about being your own boss. You got to be a boss to yourself. You got to be an employee up under yourself. And then once you get to a certain point where you put in a lot of time, a lot of hours, or that experience, or like gaining that knowledge and wisdom, you can begin to teach that and share it to somebody else. So you can now cut down on that learning curve. And they can get to it a lot faster. And I feel like you doing that gets you to a place of freedom. Yeah, being an entrepreneur, like, yeah, bro, like, you're going to work 80, 120, sometimes even 160 hours a week sometimes. Sometimes you ain't even going to sleep. You got content on content on content on content that they ain't do, record, shoot, people to talk to, people to they ain't communicate with, all of that stuff like that. However, when you get to a point where you don't put in so many reps, and then you can bring people on because they see the value that you bring out in other people and what you do for other people. Then when you manage and train up enough people, then you can sit back a little bit more, and then you can come from like a business owner standpoint instead of a self-employed standpoint. And that's when you gain more of your time back. You see what I'm saying?
I do, man. And I was in a chat with my brothers, so my actual blood brother and his best friend. And literally, bro, on the way up here, I texted him. I was like, have y'all read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad? And
hello.
One of them was like, I read a little bit of it. The other one was like, nah, I ain't read it at all.
You're missing out.
You're missing out, man. So
missing out.
I didn't have the book, of course, to send to them, but I sent them summaries. You know what I'm saying? You got to get the gist some way, somehow.
For sure.
So read this. I told them, watch these 3 videos, this breakdown on this book, because it's going to teach you about money. It's going to teach you about the power of leverage and the different levels of money. Sure. So I think you know about that book for sure, right?
Absolutely. I read it.
Word.
It talks about the 4 quadrants about being an employee, self-employed, a business owner, and being an investor.
For sure. And across all those quadrants, you make more money, and money ends up working for you.
Hello.
And that is freedom.
That's freedom.
That's freedom.
When you got freedom to do what you want, when you want, with who you want, and you're able to do more things and experience more times with life. Like, my personal experience with freedom, I'm going to keep it brief, but it's like, when I worked a 9 to 5, bro, I was to a point where the bills ain't really being paid. I'm trying to, like, rob Peter to pay Paul, just like how my mom's was whenever she was younger, like, growing up with me. And I was like, bro, this mess ain't adding up, bro. Like, they trying to increase my little annual salary by, like, 3 to 5%, and inflation going up by 5 to 6%. Like, the math ain't mathing. And it's like, I'm getting more and more behind, and I can't spend time with my loved ones or my mother, none of that stuff like that. But whenever I switched over to full-blown entrepreneurship, bro, it's to a point right now. I was having a conversation with my mama, dog, and I was like, because I saw some little post on Instagram, and it was just like, ask your mother these questions before she died. And one of those questions was, hey, mom, like, what's your favorite memory of us?
What'd she say?
Bro, she was like, well, son, my first favorite memory is whenever you took me to Las Vegas, Nevada for my birthday, whenever you had turned 21.
Okay.
Back in 2015.
Okay.
I was like, okay, what's the next one? She was like, whenever you took me and your auntie Kat to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and we were able to enjoy the snow and the cabin. It was just so nice, son. I really loved that trip.
You treating her good. You treating her good.
You know, I'm just like, I'm starting to see a pattern. Like, basically what mom's saying is everything she did for me as a kid, that wasn't it.
No,
that ain't it.
That wasn't the sunny days right there.
I'm just like, I'm like, what's the last one, Mom? She was like, son, last year, whenever you took me on my first ever cruise to not Las Vegas, but my first ever cruise to Mexico, and we sat down in like the little waters, and we had a little feast, I had a little fish stuck on our feet. Like, that was so I've never did anything like that before. And I'm like, yo, my mom is 58, bro. I'm 29. I was able to create that experience for her that she never had in all of her 58 years of living. That's what freedom is to me. Not only doing what you want, when you want, with who you want, and all of that stuff, but more so creating those memories with the ones that you love and care about most.
100%.
Because I didn't have that growing up. And my personal experience with the rat race, bro, like, I lost my daddy at 16 to lung cancer, right? But before I lost my dad, I was raised up by my mom in a single-parent household, living in the projects. My mom robbing Peter to pay Paul. She's working all these extra hours, doing overtime, all of that stuff like that. I wasn't able to spend any time with her. And my mom thought because sometimes, like, she saw my older cousins getting stuff for their little kids and stuff like that, like the little trucks and the little cars. And I want my son to have a little electronic Jeep. I'm going to work some more hours, take away time from actually spending with him. Bro, as a kid, that's all you care about. Spending time with your parent. My mom, she would work a little bit more to pay the bills, but also get me a little ammo or get me a little electronic toy or something like that. But it's like, dang, bro. Time. That's all we really want at the end of the day. Because we can have all of the cars, the houses, the money in the world, but when it came down to it and you about to die within 2 weeks, and the only other cure to live for another 10, 15 years, you got to give away all your possessions or all the money that you've accumulated to live those extra 2 weeks.
Here you go.
You're going to get that.
Here you go.
I just want the time to spend with you. And so that's why I encourage everybody, man, listen, if you can be disciplined, if you can be focused, if you could be hyper focused on being intentional with the vision that you want for your life and ignore all distractions, you can have that time freedom. You can do what you want with who you want, when you want, but more so than anything, you can create those memories with the ones that you love and care about most. Because time is so precious. And you don't get today's time tomorrow. Once this moment in time right here is gone, that's it. So that's what bro, like, what's your personal experience with the rat race? Before we close this thing out, big dog.
For sure, but man, first off, let me say, man, those 3 things you did for your mom, man, that's phenomenal, bro. Like that's good, because that's really what it's about, man.
Yeah.
Nipsey Hussle got a lyric, man. Victory to me is when you get your mind right. Victory to me is when you get your mom's right. Victory to me is when you get your grind right. All 3 of those. All 3 of those. Your mind, your grind, and your mom's. You know what I'm saying? The one that gave you life.
Come on,
you know
man.
What I'm saying?
Come on.
That's good, bro. That's good. And I'm excited because, like, I'm actually
the
taking
big nip too.
Yeah, for sure. And his birthday just passed. Shout out to him. But man, I'm excited because on the flip side, I'm doing that for my dad. Me and my dad just this morning booked a flight to Italy.
Wow.
Yeah. We got a engagement shoot out there.
That's
2
hard.
engagement shoots out in Italy,
That's
actually.
hard.
And he's coming. He said, "Man, let me come with you. I'll hold your lights." So yeah, he gonna help me out. Again, that's like the business, the opportunity. Like, would I go to Italy without it? I don't know. But I'm for sure going, and talk to my dad about it. He said, "I'll slide with you." He coming with me, and we gonna have a good shoot, and then we also gonna spend time out there. Enjoy the scenery.
Has your pops ever been to Italy?
No. There you go.
Another first.
But with the rat race, I don't got too much experience. I worked at Sports Academy. I worked valet, and I worked in a hat store. But I still feel like the rat race is still like, a part of me in a sense, because like I still gotta I feel like you escape it once you get to the I quadrant. When your money's working for you, like when
you investing.
Yeah, cause like I'm still working. Like
sure.
Granted, like again, I'm choosing something I actually love to do. Cause you gotta have purpose at the end of the day.
Sure.
Like even if you get old and you retire and all that stuff, but if you just sit down watching TV, you're gonna die. Like your body is supposed to be worked. You're supposed to have a purpose. Purpose keeps you alive more than anything else. The will, the desire to change, to be, to love, to create more time and more memories. That's gonna keep you alive.
That's real.
But the rat race, I mean, from seeing and hearing how people stress about money or hearing different people's money problems, it sucks. Cause again, it's more so that ceiling you was talking about. With sales, there's no ceiling, there's no base. But with them, they got a base, but they don't as long as they work or clock in, they know exactly how much they're gonna make. Boom. So it's but you have to learn how to live at that number too. Exactly. You can't really expand plus that. So hopefully, your expenses is not beating that. Otherwise, you're gonna end up drowning in debt. Yeah. Or cheese, if you want to call it rat race. But you're gonna end up, on the downside of things. So it sucks.
It do. And man, I would say this right here, to everybody that's essentially watching this thing right here, you can really choose your poison, right? You can choose. It's always the principle of the hard now or the easy now. Yep. Like with the entrepreneurship route, and this is with life in general. This is with school in general. This is with your job in general. This is with a relationship in general. This is with whatever. You can take the same principle and spread it across the board. Hard now, easy later. Bro, you can give it your all in entrepreneurship. You can give it your all in a relationship. You can give it your all in your business, in your finance. You can give it your all in whatever that you're trying to be absolutely amazing at. You can push through the pain, the adversity, the hardships, or whatever type of back and forth that any type of obstacle that life gives you, man, continue to push through that thing. Don't just give up. Because when you get through that thing enough times, you'll get to a certain point where life gonna be easier for you later. Or from the standpoint of the rat race, you can coach, you can take it easy, you can be lax, you can get settled with a little. Hey, how much you willing to trade your time for? Oh, $15 an hour, $10 an hour? I bet. I got a job for you.
Pretty much.
And the thing about it is, Joe, understand this. All you get is one life. You don't get any second chances. This is it. When them lights cut out at the end of the day, and you realize, yo, I made $40,000 a year. And yeah, everybody can say, oh, I had a great life with $40,000. I wasn't so big on money and all. Bro, I hear that, bro, but at the end of the day, bro, you got one life. I don't want to get to the end of my days and die say, bro, I made 40 bands a year, and all them folks who made all that money, they was evil, they was whatever. Bro, you ain't get a chance to live life. You made 40 bands a year, you had $39,000 in expenses a year. Mm. You had a band left over at the end of every single year to go on a local vacation. Nothing wrong with local vacations, but it's so much world out here for you to see.
You deserve better.
You deserve, come on, man. You deserve better. That's it. So that's all we saying, man. Look, it's your man, Lucas Frink, the Boss Exponent.
I'm Calvin Maurice.
And we just telling you, man, yo, look, go live your best life. Listen, choose freedom over the rat race. So if you got to grind a little bit harder in your finances, like your entrepreneurship or your relationship or whatever it is that you want to be absolutely amazing in, do that now so life can be easier later. Don't take the easy route right now because it's going to be hard for you later. As simple as that.
The principle is delayed gratification. Look into it. I'll leave you with this. Proverbs talks about the grasshopper and the ant. The grasshopper was chilling, laughing at the ants, working hard. They're like, why? What you working hard for? We chilling. The weather nice, man. Hello. Enjoy this sun. You know what I'm saying? Take off your shirt and just lay. Bask in it. But the whole time, them ants know that winter's coming. That winter's coming and you got to save for it. So, work hard now and be good later when that winter comes. And when that winter comes, you could go where it's summer.
Hello.
For sure. So if you believe in us like we believe in you,
like, follow, subscribe, and share this video right here, man, because we're going to make sure that we continue to invest in you. Just invest in us by hitting that subscribe button and sharing this thing.
Peace.